The next important thing that you need to make them aware is about needs and wants. Today's generation is where kids have been indulged, they have been pampered, they have been provided for everything they ask for. The basic thing I hear parents saying is, there are things that we have missed in life, but we do not want our kids to miss out on that. Fair enough point. But believe me, you are bringing up an entitled kid in that. A kid who feels they have a right on everything that they wish for. That's not the right way to bring up a financially responsible kid. It is important that your kid is aware there are things that they need, there are things that they want. In today's world, when the money is a limited resource in most families, they need to understand that they cannot buy everything they wish for. And it's important for them to understand this basic concept of differentiating between needs and wants. Hi, hello and welcome to Journey Towards Wealth. In today's video, let's discuss on how to make your kids financially responsible in their lives. This is a topic or this is a subject which has to be incorporated in your school curriculum. Unfortunately, this is not at all taught, not at school, not at home, not even in the social circle. People do not talk about this one thing. And as generations go by, the financial knowledge keeps coming down and down, which makes the kids less responsible towards their financial life. There are some things, certain basics that you can follow and ensure that your kids have a smooth financial life. The first and foremost thing that we need to make them is to be responsible for their financial life. The parents are going to be around with them only till they are 18. Once they are off to university or for their higher studies, they have to manage things on their own. The real life for many kids come as a shocker because they are not used to any of the things which they see in the real life once they go off to university. Today's parents are mostly helicopter parents where they are around the kids all the time, taking care of all their needs without realizing the simple fact a day will come when they need to stand on their feet, and then life is going to be difficult for them. There are few steps that you can take as a parent to your growing up kid to make their financial life easier when they go on to the next stage of life. When they're off to university, when they're off to their own work, life itself is in a new change, in a new mode. There, at least if they are financially responsible, half their battle is taken care. The biggest problem in today's society is money is a taboo subject. People do not like to talk about money. People do not like to talk about how to build financial responsibility in kids or how to create awareness about money in kids. So today's video, let's discuss on how can you make your kids a financially responsible person. The first and foremost thing that you can do to make your kid financially responsible is to talk to them about money at each age. For each age, there are appropriate topics about money which can be discussed with them. It is not like when a kid is 6 or 7 years that you talk to them about net worth or what the financial assets that you have. It's not about that. But when a kid is 3 or 4 years, you can have small discussions about how is your family able to bring in money to the table? What does the father do to bring in the money? What does the mother do to bring in the money? If the mother is is not a working woman and a housewife, how she manages the budget for the family. These are small topics that you can discuss, and it's not like you need to talk to them in a the most theoretical way. It's not that. You should give them live example. For example, in our daughter's case, what we did is whenever we go to a shopping mall, when my husband used to swipe the card, she used to imagine that money is already there, it just comes easy. That is when we had to explain to her, money doesn't come easy. Somebody has to put in their effort to bring in that money. So we used to tell her that's the reason why my husband or I go to work, we make the money, and that's how we are able to spend this money in this shopping complex. At the tender age of 3 or 4, she realized that money doesn't come easily to everybody. You have to put in effort to bring in money. This is a basic example that you can tell your kids. So according to the maturity of each kid, you need to discuss topics that you feel are relevant to them. Some kids are more mature to understand money topics earlier. Some kids are not interested. If they are not interested, give them some examples so that they get awareness about money. The problem is we assume that kids cannot understand about money. If you talk about financial things, they are not interested. But you need to talk to them in the most interesting way, so that just like a story, you can talk to them about money. So this is how we started our basic this thing. So now each time when we were spending money on credit card, she realizes, okay, there is an effort going in when you have to buy something. There is somebody working hard to make that money, and that's how we can spend the money. So now when she was almost 5 to 6 years, we started taking her to the departmental store when we go for shopping, or we used to take her to the shopping center when we go shopping, and we used to show her the price of the product. And she used to first think, why is it written like that? We said, this is a value that you need to pay to buy that product, or this is a price that you need to pay to buy the product. And by then she had realized that if she wants to buy something, she has a price to pay for it. So by the age of 5 to 6, she was aware that money doesn't come easily. Somebody has to take in the effort to bring in that money to the house. And second is, if you want to buy something, you have to pay a value for it, or you have to pay a money for it. It is not freely available. Here, we didn't teach her all that by sitting at home and taking an Excel sheet and showing her. No, we took her real life in life and showed her things that were happening around. So what happens is, people are not ready to talk about money with kids because they believe if they talk about money to kids, they are actually polluting their mind about a subject which cannot be discussed openly, which is not true. Money needs to be discussed openly like any other subject. You cannot ignore money in life. Today, many people who are earning well in life are failures because they have not understood about investing money, about saving money, and how to take care of money that comes to you. So it's important that you bring up this financial responsibility, financial awareness in kids from a younger age, and do not wait for them to become adult. So you need to talk about money like any other subject of life, and you need to inculcate that habit in your kids. So money can be talked freely, at least in your family it can be talked freely, and you should be available to your kid to answer all their money related questions. At young age, they have many doubts about where money comes, how are we paying for the things we buy, how are they priced. They have many questions. It's up to you how you answer those questions to them and create that awareness about money in your kids. Once your kids are aware about the difference between needs and wants, their life decisions gets easier for them. They would understand what are their choices in life and what are the things they need to prioritize in their own life. As parents, many a times we forget tomorrow these kids have to go into the real world as adult. And at that point of time, if you do not train them from a younger age, it becomes very difficult for them to take those financial decisions in life, which make them handicapped in many a times in life. Their resources when they start their career, when they start their life in terms of money would be limited, and many a kids are not able to take the right decisions in life when they become adult because they are not trained from younger days about needs, wants, choices about life, priorities about life. So in best interest of your kid, when they grow up to be an adult, you need to make them financially responsible, and making them differentiate between their wants and needs is one step towards that. The step to bring up financially responsible kids is to get them used to the word no. Whenever your kid comes with a demand for something, it is important for you to actually analyze it and then give them a reply. What happens is, in today's busy world where parents are busy with their career and in life as general, it is easier for them to accept all the requests of the kids. But that way, you're bringing up a financially irresponsible kid. Why is it so? The reason is simple. Whenever your kid comes to you with a demand for something, whether it is to buy something or money for something, it is important that you take it through a funnel and understand whether it is something that needs an immediate yes, or is it something that needs waiting time, or is it something which you need to reject at the first place. Let's go through this. First is something relating to your education, the kids' education, or some other basic necessities of life. There, your answer is a definite yes. The second is a wish or a desire which you know it is not important at this point of time, which the kid can wait. In that, to develop that habit of delayed gratification, you can tell the kid that you need a week to 10 days time to think about it and then decide. Also tell the kid to use that time to think about it themselves whether they really need it. What happens is many a time the kid will come back saying that they don't need it, or they would have completely forgotten about that request of theirs. This will help them to have patience whenever they want something in life. And the third is a no. Because let's say for an example, a girl has 5 dolls. Next time she goes to the shopping complex, a shopping mall, she says, I want that doll. That is, according to you, you know that it is of no use to the kid and the kid doesn't need it. But being a parent, you feel, oh, she just requested for it, let me buy and give. That's a point when you should be giving her a definite no answer. The kid may not accept it. They may shout there, they may howl there, they may cry there. All the tantrums would be shown there. But this is at that point where, as a parent, you should be strong and saying no to them so that they accept no as much as they accept yes when their desires are shared with you. And later on, when the kid is calm, when the kid is okay, you need to explain to them why was that a no. This way, you will be able to bring in your kid that decision making skill, and they will understand what their choices are, what their priorities are, and they will accept the no as much as they accept yes for their desire. This is another way of ensuring that you're bringing up financially responsible adults. In today's world, you can see there are many young adults who go into debt because of this one reason, that they cannot delay their gratification. They want everything instantly. This happens to the kids who are not used to no in their life. Lead by example. This is the fundamental thing when it comes to bringing up financially responsible kids. As parents, we know that our kids follow what we do. You may preach them something, but if your actions speak something else, the kid will automatically follow your actions. In my case, I followed my mother as an example when it came to spending money. She never told us not to spend money on anything. She never told us, to save money. She never told us to invest money. But she showed us all that in her real life. And that's how that came in us, that got ingrained in our mind, that these are the fundamental things of life. So many a times as parents, we believe that if you scold your kid, if you talk to your kid, they will understand. They don't follow what you talk to them. They follow what you do. They just copy. They are like a sponge and they just absorb what they see around. So as a parent, it becomes very important for you to be financially responsible so that your kids can follow your path to be financially responsible. Just by talking about savings, investments, spending, they will not understand it. But you just need to action it, and then you can see them following your actions. Next thing that you need to keep in mind to bring up financially responsible kids is to talk to them about financial failures of your life. As parents, what we do is we tell them only about our success stories. How we studied, how we did well in life, what happened to us, what are the struggles we took to reach where we are. But it is important for you to talk to them about your financial failures or your failures in life. Because this will make them accept that failures are as much acceptable as successes. Today's generation is a generation who doesn't like failures. They only want success in life. Why? Because they are not used to failures and they feel success is the only way in life. So it's important when you talk to them about finance, you need to talk to them about your financial failures, your investment mistakes, your mistakes in terms of spending money, and also how you were able to come out of it. These are the things which need to be discussed with your kids along with your success stories. Otherwise, kids would assume when they fail that theirs is a rare case and they would get frustrated when it comes to financial failures in life. So, talk to them as normally about financial failures as much as your financial success. You can involve your kids in the budgeting process of your family. Yes, you may not be comfortable to share your salary or income with your kids, but you can actually show them the spending side of it, which is how do you prioritize certain expenses over the other? How do you decide on the expense that can be postponed for the next month, the expense that doesn't need your immediate attention? And how do you involve such decisions? Especially, you can show them when you go for a vacation, how do you plan the budget for the vacation? Out of the budget, how do you spend on the travel? How much do you spend on the boarding? How much do you spend for the food? How much do you spend for sightseeing? You can show those things. This will help them to get a fair idea about how budgeting happens in the real world, and this will help them to become more responsible towards money as they grow up in their life. The next important concept that you need to introduce your kids is to savings, investment, spending, taxes and charity. Many a times in our life, we forget that these are the basic concepts that you can teach our kids, especially if your kids are 10 to 12 years of age. They do understand all this. All you need to do is take an effort to introduce them to all these concepts. Like when our daughter turned 12, the first thing we did is we took her to the bank, made her fill up the form and give all the documented requirements and open a bank account. Now she is aware that is where she can save her money. That is the account in which she can save her money. On top of that, we also introduce her to the concept of investment by telling her that we will be investing a particular sum of money every month towards your mutual funds. And also, whenever she gets any additional money, she can add it to your investment. We showed her how her money can grow over years if she takes right decisions in her investment. So these are simple concepts which you can teach your kids so that they are aware about all this at an earlier age. Next thing we introduce her is towards spending. That is through budgeting, which we have already covered in the previous topic. We showed her how money can be tracked, how money can be spent, and how it is important for us to prioritize things in our life. The next concept we introduced her to is charity. We ensure that whenever we do a charity, she has to add in her portion of her pocket money or her money that she gets as gift in the charity, so that she realizes a portion of her money has to be shared with others. Otherwise, in today's world, when your kids have abundance, they find it very difficult to share in spite of those abundance they have. So as parents, it's important for us to introduce these concepts at younger age so that when they grow up and they have their own life, they don't find it difficult to share with others. Taxes is something which most people do not like to pay, and they give a negative connotation to it. But traditionally, the taxes had a purpose, and why we are giving taxes, there was a reason. So it is important for us to introduce our kids to all that rather than just saying that, oh, we have to pay the taxes. So these are things you can explain to them in simple ways of how the tax money can be spent and all those simple topics, but in an interesting way. Many a times we do is we discuss about all these things in a fun way, in a game like way, so that our daughter doesn't get bored by the concept. Now we have seen the steps that can help you to develop financial responsibility in your kids. Money management or financial management is a topic which is underrated. This is something which should have been part of school curriculum. Unfortunately, it is not given the importance that it deserves. and it is not part of the curriculum. Just like any other subject, like your physical education or your science, maths, money management or financial management should be part of the curriculum. And it should not be some specialized study that should be happening. But for some reason, it's not given the importance that it deserves. So, as parents, it's important for us to talk about this aspect of life, which is money or finance, in a more free manner. We actually do not discuss this topic with our kids. We do not encourage them to talk about money. We do not discuss them with the various steps to make them financially responsible so that they can face their life later on in life. Because talking about money is always considered to be taboo. People who talk about money are considered to be greedy, selfish, and money minded. But unfortunately, that's not how you should define money. Money is just like other aspect of your life. You feel health is important, you need to take care of it. As much as health is important, wealth is important. You need to have wealth and you need to have money. So this aspect is somewhere missing in today's society. So as parents, you can develop in your kids feeling of positivity towards money rather than having a negative feeling towards money. You need to discuss freely about money, about savings tips, investment, or how budgeting is done. And you should be able to tell them openly about this matter. You should be able to discuss with this aspect of life, just like how you discuss about what happened in school for your kids, or how are they managing other studies. Once you start doing this, your kids will automatically tend to be financially responsible. I hope this video is useful for many of you, and please like, share and subscribe to this channel. This will motivate us to bring in more videos. Thank you for your time.